Did you actually book it?
I called. Them. Things get lost in their system.
I have a leash by the door. I'm 39, 34 weeks pregnant, high risk, and I work full-time from the living room. Couch because the desk chair stopped being tolerable around week 28, and I just never went back to it. My two older kids are 7 and 5, and their schedules alone, school drop-off, the younger one's speech therapy on Thursdays. The older one's well visit I rescheduled twice because the contractor kept moving the window for the bathroom subfloor. Repair. Could fill a part-time position if anyone were hiring for it. My husband and I have known each other since we were 11 years old, and his entire professional identity is built around the idea that he follows through on things. He runs a department of over 300 people, and I have heard from his colleagues at company dinners that he is the person who gets things done. So when I say that the one thing I asked him to handle was finding a mobile vet for our dog, I want you to understand that it felt like a reasonable delegation. Our dog is 11, old for his size, and at vet appointments he needs 2 people, one to hold the leash and one to act as a full-body anchor. Because he doesn't pace, he launches, and I am not physically able to be that second person right now. I told my husband this specifically. He said he'd find a mobile vet so the dog stays in his own environment and we'd only need one person. A few days passed. Then he mentioned the vet had been traveling. Then, a week or so after that, he said the appointment was set. 10 in the morning, Tuesday, they'd come to the house. I added it to my mental list of things that were now handled, which is a list I maintain carefully because the things that fall off it tend to fall on me. Did you put a confirmation number in the calendar thing or just the time?
I put the time, the name, it's all there.
I'm just asking because I don't see a number anywhere.
I talked to them directly, it's confirmed.
Okay, the calendar entry was there. Green. Then Tuesday. It said vet, mobile, and had a little note that said Brody at. Brody is our dog. I saw it and did not look closer because I had no reason to look closer, which is a strange thing to sit with now. There was no confirmation number in the notes, no provider name, no address, no phone number, no, here's the van number so you know what to look for. But I didn't notice those absences because the presence of the entry itself told me it was real, the way a green light tells you it's safe to go. I'm handing off my 9:30 Tuesday, so I'm free when they get here.
Yeah, that should be fine. They said around 10.
Do you know if they call ahead or just show up?
I think they just come, I don't know. Probably just come.
Okay, I'll just watch for them.
It'll be easy, he'll be fine in the house.
I rearranged my whole Tuesday around it. I have a standing 9:30 call that I usually can't mute because I'm the one running it, and I handed it off that week to a colleague and explained I had a medical thing at home. I cleared everything before noon. I set my laptop on the coffee table instead of the couch so I'd have a clearer path to the door. I put Brody's leash by the front door the night before, not something I do, so that when the vet arrived I'd have everything ready and it would go smoothly. At 9:50, I picked up my phone to check for an arrival notification, and there was nothing, which I noted but didn't panic about. Hey, do you have the name of the person you actually spoke to over there?
I just called the main line. Why?
They're saying it's 10:15.
They're probably just running behind. These places always run behind.
I'm going to call them.
You don't have to do that. Just give it a few more minutes.
I'd rather just call. At 10:15, I called the number for the mobile vet service my husband had mentioned, sitting on the couch with one hand resting on my stomach, because that's just where my hand goes now. The person who answered put me on hold for about 45 seconds, and when she came back, she said they had no appointment under our dog's name. She checked our address. She checked the surrounding dates. Not just that day, but last week and the week before too. Nothing, she said. Nothing in their system, not ever. Did you actually book it?
I called them. Things get lost in their system.
I have a leash by the door. I called my husband. He picked up after 2 rings, which he always does for me. I told him what the vet said. There was a pause, and then he said, they probably lost it in their system. This happens. I said I had specifically asked her to check every date around it, and she found nothing. Then the pause was different. Then he listed things that I had cancelled on the first window he'd found, that the contractor schedule had made everything harder to coordinate, that he'd been managing his own workload, that it had been a complicated month. None of those things are untrue. And yet, I was standing by the front door in my 34-week body next to a leash that was going nowhere, listening to a list of things I had done, and I couldn't entirely figure out what they had to do with the question I'd asked. There's something I haven't said to anyone, not even my mother, which is that the calendar entry was created 4 days before the appointment. Not the day he told me, not the next morning. 4 days before. When I add something real, a real appointment with a real confirmation, I add it the same day because I want to remember it before it slips. My mother came to stay for 3 weeks, back in the second trimester, when I had a bad stretch of blood pressure issues and also managed to sprain my wrist the same week the contractor found the subfloor problem. And she witnessed the household from the inside in a way that nobody else really has. When she left, she hugged me a long time at the door, the kind where she didn't rush to let go. And I thought at the time it was because of the pregnancy, the high-risk part. I've been thinking about that hug since Tuesday. The calendar entry is still there. I haven't deleted it, and he hasn't deleted it, and it sits in the week in green with Brody at. Written in it, like a record of a morning that happened slightly differently than it actually happened. Every time I open the calendar to add something, the 36-week appointment, the contractor's rescheduled Thursday, the 5-year-old's speech therapy, I can see it there. Brody's back legs have been stiff in the mornings for about 6 weeks now, and I was meaning to mention it at the appointment that didn't exist. We haven't rescheduled. Right now, he's asleep at my feet, his back legs doing the thing where they twitch a little during sleep, and he's warm against my ankles, and the leash is still by the front door where I left it.